Yes, and welcome back to a brand new episode of DUD SPUD. Maniacal Mac, and we have my usual host here.
I'm Hibbs.
And Hibbs, this is one I've had in the bag for a while, haven't I?
Yeah.
We rewatched the trailer and we were like, sold. I think it's time, isn't it? What is this one called? Because we're not going for the first one. If we do our things arse backwards, what are we going for, mate?
We're going to watch Snake Eater 2.
Yeah, do you know
So,
the Drug Buster?
yeah, the Drug Buster. So, the trailer looks quite funny, to be honest. Looks like, yeah, maybe a bit of a Death Wish kind of like.
Yeah, kind of like a Death Wish style. Some dude and another dude kind of team up and they're going to take the drugs off the streets. Well, I say single-handedly. You can't really use that when there's two of them, can you? But the pair of them are going to take the drugs off the street between the two of them.
Yeah, he's like
seems pretty funny.
an ex-soldier or something.
I think they mentioned that.
I don't know if it's a cop or vigilante.
I don't know. Or whether maybe he was living the life and he's like, he understands it's bad and he's like, look, I want to make changes. Never know. We'll see. Another thing I've got to mention. Check my Rumble page as well. We've got, I think it's 4 DUD SPUD episodes now on YouTube where they're being douchebags about. But if you go on Rumble, they're available on there. So just getting that out there. But yeah, I think really, mate, should we just go straight into this one? Because it look fun. So
Yeah,
what
give
do you
it a
reckon?
go. Yeah.
We'll be back with you soon. Right, so we've just come back now from watching Snake Eater 2, The Drug Bust. Is it The Drug Bust or The Drug Buster? Like, it don't fucking matter anyway. Fucking hell, innit? This film, for a film called Snake Eater 2, The Drug Buster, whatever the fuck it is. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, bro. I
You
fell
zoned out
in
again.
another coma, bro.
Yep,
Another coma. Yeah, Drug Buster. Snake Eater 2, Drug Buster. Oh god, that was hard.
It was
that was really painful to get through.
So let's just get into it. It starts off with fucking, because obviously we're watching a sequel. Like, I am bothered with the first one. The only reason I got it because all I've seen is sequels a lot better. So I was like, if this is good, I'll watch it. I'm saying I'm definitely never going to watch Snake Eater 1, put it that way. Like, so it starts off with our fucking guy soldier. He's doing, like, I'm guessing from the events of the first film, might be wrong in here, but he's doing some community service, and that's when it introduced Speedboat, isn't it? The other guy then.
Yeah, so I don't know if this guy's like an informant, a criminal.
They do say he was a criminal, Speedboat, and he's doing work, and soldiers looking after him.
Soldier's like either a cop or a suspended cop.
Soldier is Snake Eater, by the way. He fucks up and calls himself Jonathan once in the film, but
which is his real name, they say at the end, but...
Jonathan, he said? He doesn't call me Soldier. Purge my city of this great evil. Yours.
That's the first time he's been known as Jonathan. I've only known him as Soldier and Snake Eater.
Yeah, literally.
Do you think he was not meant to have said that? He's like, oh no, Snake Eater.
This would be his real name, Jonathan.
Could be, yeah. They kept it in, and he fucked up a line earlier. They kept it. Why not? Like, running at it. It is it?
Yeah, they say at the end, Jonathan, blah blah blah, has been found not guilty at the end of the film.
Yes, like they really pull his name out of the bag.
Yeah, so he's like, I think he's like a suspended cop. So.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess from the events what happened on the first one, and he's fucking doing his time looking after his community.
It starts off in this dance club, and the guy's in his, I don't know, he's in this dance club. This criminal or what, a former criminal.
Well, it's like a youth centre, isn't it?
Like a youth, yeah. And then 2 people just collapse there.
You just hear the scream. They go up to him. Come on, Snake Eater. Let's see what you got. Oh, someone just fell over or something, did they?
We just wanted a little boost. A boost?
Oh, overdose, bro.
Soldier! It's alright, it's alright, that's alright. Okay, girl, you're not going anywhere. Stay down. Listen, can you clear out? Give us some room?
From behind, I don't know why that was, I didn't actually mention
kind of awkward, the position he does.
He's like behind her head, and
it looks like he's trying to fuck the back of her head.
Yeah, like, I don't know what he's... Like, I didn't really say anything at the time, actually. But thinking about it, I was kind of... I've been actually thinking about it now. It's kind of weird. Like,
he's like...
So where's, like, you normally just... If somebody's on the floor, you just be, like... I don't know, by the side of him.
No, he puts her head in his lap. And gets really close to
it. Yeah, but he's, like... He looks like he's, like, behind
really
her head.
Yeah,
it's like...
It looks like he's fucking the back of her head.
I wouldn't like to say, but...
But then, so the guy then ends up fucking OD, and then she goes, oh, it's the drugs, we only wanted one more hit. So, in the middle of a youth centre, they decided to fucking, I don't know, sniff coke, which you don't see, but they decided to do it right in the middle of a youth centre, and they OD. So then, at that point then, we're like, all right then, this film's already starting off quick. So Snake Eater, then Soldier, this gets pretty good. He comes outside and there's a copper there they introduced to be like, I know what you're like, Snake Eater, I've seen them eyes before, don't fucking do nothing. Obviously, Snake Eater's going to go do something. So then the next scene, pretty much, he somehow finds out where the dealers were. Pulls out an ammo box, he's got grenades in a gun. So he saw two people die, and that's enough for him now to just fucking go off on one. It'd be different if it was his own daughter, or like, he didn't even know these people, like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's sad, but, you know what I mean? Would this send you on a binge to go and take out the whole fucking drug scene if two people chose to overdose? No. He's just really shit, man. He ends up fucking going in, because he's like saying, oh, I'm here for an appointment, blah, blah, blah. Ends up going in. Some guy's already fucking done drugs, but then, yeah, because he busts his way in then, he alerts everyone, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So rather than being sneaky about it, he just busts his way in, starts punching the fucking guy at the door, and then the guy at the main door where the metal thing
gets
is...
a machine gun out then, doesn't he? And starts shooting a machine gun at him.
So then he's fucking, like, hiding behind a wall thing, and then, yeah, pulls out a fucking homemade grenade, chucks it, you see an explosion, and somehow then the next scene, the door's completely flat down.
It's actually two guys
and there's two guys in it, and then he just chucks in another grenade right in the middle of them, and they both get exploded. And then, yeah, at one point though, some guy did, like the first guy he knocks out, when he's fucking doing a grenade, he gets stabbed right in the shoulder there, and he's like, oh, and then he ends up killing the one guy. And then cops come in. He could have got out easy, but he decides to wait there and get arrested. He could have easily have just been like, fuck this, I'm gone. But he stays to get arrested for some fucking reason. I don't know why.
There's many things in this film where you can be fuck this and gone, actually, thinking about it. It's
So-
like the mental hospital.
Why did they have the shot of him holding it up like that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I get you didn't shoot him, you just hit him.
This is a waste of a grenade. He had about 3 in his box. There's one man.
Yeah. A
Oh
second
my
grenade.
God. He didn't even run and he threw a grenade.
No. Shitty AI bro glitching out. I just knew he was there. The guy had plenty of time to shoot him as well. Ah.
Hey, I just came in here to do the same
No,
thing
that's
you
the
did.
side.
But looks like you don't need much help.
Yeah, he stays and gets arrested, and he goes straight to the next scene. It's like he's in court with some guy going, "Look, you've got to plead insanity. We'll get you off on it, And he's like, "No, I'm guilty.
No, I'm guilty.
I'm
yeah.
guilty." And the guy's like, "No, plead insanity."
His lawyer's a bit mad, isn't he,
Yeah.
actually? He's a
So
bit
before
weird.
Snakey has a chance to say anything, the lawyer just interrupts, doesn't he, and goes on that. He's insanity.
Yeah, he's went to go wash a plea and he says, my client's plea is not guilty. He's insanity.
Yeah.
So then he ends up sending him down to a mental hospital.
Yeah.
We plead not guilty by reason of insanity. Your Honor, my client's not fit to stand trial. He
Going
refuses
for
to
the
take part in his
insanity
own
plea,
defense.
fucking hell.
He's not
This is 14 minutes, give or take, about now, innit, into the film. So at 14 minutes into the film, we're like, you were just killing people on the streets, now you're going into a mental asylum. What the fuck? Like, this called Drug Buster. So the film at this point, 14 minutes in, goes, right, let's have a good start and let's go really fucking drag this film out for fucking ages. So I reckon we should just skip through this because most of it is completely irrelevant.
I might have even lost consciousness a couple of times
did.
with this, but it
You
was
did.
still...
Yeah, I looked at you at one point. I think you were like, oh.
Yeah, I think I did literally
Yeah.
fall asleep for like a second. So it was so slow and boring. It's like, hang on, from the trailer where there was loads of like action, you're thinking, what the hell are we watching? What the hell is going on? He's in this mental hospital. And he's just like, there's a lot of talking, rubbish going on. They're like, do you want to play the game? And then
It
they're
tries
like,
to turn into like a comedy.
yeah, they're like,
Yeah, and then
at one
so
point they're like, yeah,
he has that little thing with his the psychiatrist is falling in love with him and that. They show little bits of that, and then the dude comes in. Remember that scene where
oh yeah,
the first
so
time he
the
sees a
business in it,
psychiatrist?
yeah, and
Go on, mention that
the
scene.
guy comes in with a knife, don't he?
Yeah,
And he's
and
like,
what are the two security doing?
nothing. They're just
standing back,
just
watching
standing
him.
there like the two security guards. He's the guy that Snake Eater. He's just like laughing. Oh, don't worry, he's not
You
gonna
won't
stab
cut.
you.
He's like, you
not
won't
gonna-
use that to
yeah, he
cut.
won't cut.
By the time you cut through the flesh, the blade will break. That's only good for apples and that. Like, kind of sounded like a psychopath saying, that's not a good enough blade. You need a better blade. So at this point, he's talking the guy down, right? And he even convinces. He says something. The guy goes, "Oh, I ain't got no money to pay you for it." Because this guy's not all there. He could have said, "Look, give me your life as payment," and calm it down. Instead, out of nowhere, bang! Fucking uppercuts him when
mean,
he was calming
he's
the
not-
situation down.
want you bloody red.
What the fuck
yeah.
is going on? Yeah.
I'm going to kill you, you bitch. First, I'm going to cut off your...
Where's
I'm going to cut them off.
Yeah.
I'm going to...
where's security as well? Oh, that's him behind him.
Trevor, you're not going to cut anything. Swedish steel and a good strong handle. A 6-inch blade, or 8 inches, that's even better. Yeah. Oh, that's okay.
Ah! He was diffusing that situation. If he literally said to him, "Oh, give me the knife instead for payment," that guy would have been like, "Oh, go on then." Gives him an uppercut.
It was totally uncalled for. I had the situation well under control.
No, you never.
I know.
No, she never.
No.
No, knife to her throat.
Yeah, I know.
He's not even wearing a coat or anything like that. So I don't know. He's already got that blade. I don't know what he thought he was getting out of his pocket. A bigger blade than what he already had anyway.
It was stupid. But then, yeah, he was de-escalating the situation and decides to uppercut the guy, which he should have done right away anyway. Loads of bullshit. Copper comes in to visit him. No point. Back to the characters. No point. They all go about, we want to play a game. Take him up to a rooftop and, like, all of them are there in the asylum, I guess. And then he put him in a wheelchair against a guy with terrible prosthetics who looks like a mix between an ape and a caveman. Terrible, terrible. Put him in a wheelchair with one of his leg up. And the game is... well, what is the game?
just fighting.
Fight each other kind of thing, but whoever falls off the edge first loses, but you're going to die because you're on top of a fucking massive building. But our main guy has no problem. At no point does he go, "Why are you making me do this? I don't want to do this." He just goes along with it. He goes, "Yeah, sure, strap me in a thing. Oh, I guess I'm fighting him, sure." Our main character just has empathy for nothing. He don't care if people get fucked up. So he has that stupid little fight, doesn't he, with the guy?
Yeah, and they're quite serious about it as well because he does sort of end up winning. He manages to knock the guy off the edge, but the guy's holding on with his hand.
Yeah.
The one guy who's hosting the event comes on with his thing. He's
Trying to knock his hands off.
It's like, well, I suppose it is like a prison mental hospital.
Yeah.
But like you think it's
But no, if that guy left dropped, he
Yeah.
would have died. It was like, I
Yeah.
know, it's a fucking
and he's
huge
actually
building.
gonna hit his hands. Oh, you've lost this.
Yeah, so he would have murdered the guy, but then Snake Eater comes and goes, "No, call on me, get up, get up, get up here." And we made that little joke, because then the scene does one of many shitty transitions you get from Movie Maker. But one of
The squares.
when
transition.
when Snake Eater was getting the guy up, what would have been absolutely hilarious, and I would have loved this film, is if Snake Eater had helped him up, and he went, "Fuck you," and chucked Snake Eater off the building. Snake Eater hit the floor, head exploded, and went, "The end." That would have been great.
You want to get out of
For
here?
fuck's sake, what's going on with this film? There's an excuse to have a fight. They could have set him up now with like a fight. What the fuck?
Trailer showed none of it.
Yo, is this film supposed to try and be a comedy, mate? At this stage, it seems like it's trying to be like a fun comedy film, like or trying to go that direction.
Where do we race
And that's
to?
terrible prosthetics on his face. What are they doing? I'm fucking bro. I think this is a troll film,
Sydney, what's that man doing over
bro. Like this just seems
Yeah, we don't want you to hurt yourself on that railing.
weird, mate.
First,
Look at them prosthetics on his face, bro. Why are they making him look like a caveman? Why does he just agree to do all this anyway, like? I guess he's got nothing better to do. What the fuck are we watching?
This is not what I expected in the trailer.
This film's definitely called Snake Eater 2 Drug Bust.
I'm sure it started off as that. I think they changed films, bro. I
Yeah.
think the film was changed.
The first 5 minutes, bro, he had killed 4 people within 5 minutes. We're probably about...
And it was like the trailer, him going round all the time doing that.
We're not far off half hour in, and since then it's been not a single action scene.
All it's been is him in a metal hospital
Yeah.
playing games.
This is the closest we've had to an action scene now, bro. And also, why did he just agree to fight someone like this? Are you fucking for real? No. This is fucking embarrassing, isn't it, bro? Bro, they would have spent probably a day or two filming this scene. They planned this, they shot this, and they still put it to fucking film. What? Trying to fucking knock him off. I would have loved
Whoa,
it.
what was that heading then?
Mate, it's been a few times. I've noticed that in the video. So it's a free transition you can get on video.
Yeah, like,
it's
they
the
use
block
Windows
thing.
Move.
Do you know what I would have laughed at or would have made up for that scene? You know when he climbs up, the guy he just beat? If he just grabbed that main guy and just threw him off, went, fuck you, like, and the film ended, I would have given it a spud. But so far, fucking hell. But then, yeah, the transition then, movie maker transition, we see God knows how many times in the film.
What do
A
you mean
lot.
that and the speedboat?
Yeah. And then basically he just finds out that at any point now, these people in this asylum, just as long as you call for an event, you can get in and out, and security have no idea about it. So he decides to just go out, and he meets a woman in an event on the way, and there was that point in the scene. Don't know why.
What's going on?
I don't want to even ask. I'll leave that where it is.
Is he pretending to be him? It is, isn't it? He's gonna pretend to be him, but they don't notice he's escaping.
I think.
Ridiculous. He don't look anything like him. Look at he's eating it. What the fuck is she doing?
He's
there?
also, because they did say earlier, oh yeah, we always go and come back. So apparently it's regular for them to all know this route in and out. But the security have no idea, they never stop them. Why are you making this so much more awkward than it needs to be? But yeah, he basically decides to go out and go, alright, there's still drugs going on, people are still dying. The 4 people I killed didn't stop the drugs on the street. No, of course not. You just killed 4 people. There's more drug dealers in the world than I, you fucking clown. So then he decides to go back out, goes in an alleyway, waits for the guy. That's when, what's his name? Skiboat? What's his fucking speedboat? He turns up as well at that scene. But yeah, basically, he waits for the guy to go out with a fucking prostitute or whatever. And then while he's got his car parked out there, he somehow managed to make this, like, a saw, like you'd see in the film Saw. Like, Jigsaw was involved in it, single-handedly, may I add. So this guy comes back in his car, and when he turns the key, somehow managed to make that, when he turns on his car, outside now, on top of the building then, you've got, like, metal that's attached to ropes that just swing straight through the car and into him, doesn't it? By turning on an engine.
Like a Macaulay Culkin Home Alone thing.
But
you
by
know,
turning on an engine,
yeah.
None of it made any sense.
It was like some...
It was more like Jigsaw, though. Like Macaulay Culkin. It was like Jigsaw fucking trap, wasn't it?
No, but you know, like when they're walking up the stairs in Home Alone and the thing swings down, like...
It was like that, but with metal. So that's why I say it's like Jigsaw.
But how did he manage to do all that himself? That's to say the point you made.
There is no explanation. There's no explanation, but he can do it. He left his window open as well. Like, anyone could have hotwired that car. He fucked with it.
He's put a grenade in it,
He fucked with it, didn't he? Like, oh, here we go. That was why he set up. Ah! Finally, back to how... This is what the film should have been, like. He should have just walked away, like, from that initial scene, not got arrested, and then there should have been a scene after. Just this all the way through. He's fine with it. Back to the mental asylum again. One thing I will say, the one actor in here looks exactly like Reggie Bannister from Phantasm series, so I'm just putting that there. This guy looks so much like an actor I really like, called Reggie Bannister from these horror film series. I'm only saying that now, put in the edit. This guy, Reggie Bannister, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong, for anyone who knows Reggie Bannister. Then we get introduced to our main bad guy, who's got the worst Italian accent.
Oh, this is the fake American Italian, yeah, so he's just like... He looks like he's basically the boss of everything that's going on.
He is Salvador, naturally he's called Salvador.
But he's trying to be like a mafia or American Italian, and he just sounds like, he doesn't sound...
He keeps breaking into different accents.
It's it doesn't weird at all. He's clearly faking it. Like.
Weird.
If I find out you're lying to me, you fucks, I'll tear your heads off and shit in your necks. Okay. And, give my best to your mama.
What accent was that supposed to be?
Those cocksuckers are lying to me and I know it.
Come on, Sal. The Falconetti's not...
Sal, is that supposed to be an Italian accent,
That's
too?
just the start. It's a fucking conspiracy, okay? Talk about...
I think he's meant to be like a mafia guy, and he's terrible. He's fake, but terribly fake one.
Hey, why the hell not? I pay taxes, and I pay you, Papacolas. I want those cops investigating. I want to find out who's doing this to me, and you can start with the Fabrini family. Okay, good.
That is the worst Italian accent I've ever heard in my...
American Italian.
Yeah?
I keep thinking he was like...
Why didn't they get a real American Italian to do it?
Okay. Didn't have a fucking budget, mate, couldn't afford it. This guy said he'd do it for a $5, the other said a $10, they said no.
That restaurant guy, you find those 2 inspectors, you tear the city apart if you have to.
You tear the city apart? Like, what? That's not Italian. What the fuck? What is his original accent? It's not Italian. Next thing then, the sidekick now, we find a little side story where his sister is the prostitute with Salvador, and then he's not liking it.
Speedboat, yeah.
Yeah. So then Speedboat comes back in, he says some shit about, oh, I found out where the whole drug lab is. So they're like, all right, then let's go there. And they go in the most, like, the van, they're just asking for trouble. It's like, it's meant to be a funny this moment. It's a green van with all painting on there.
Fire extinguishers.
I've noticed he chews on cigars and don't like them, does he?
Inconspicuous. Do shit stink?
I give you a simple task.
He's done, doesn't he?
I don't. Well,
He looks like he's eating them, yeah.
yeah, he's just there's no lip. He's just chewing them. It's out of its way to be obvious, and they're supposed to be inconspicuous. Now, this is a point of the film. I'm like, is this supposed to be a comedy or what? I'm not getting it because there's supposed to be funny elements to it, but it's just flat out parts. It's like it's too ridiculous. Like I don't know what this film's trying to be. Is it trying to be an action film or just a comedy? Because it failed.
Well, like you say with the vent and the pizza guy, like that was ridiculous. Like,
yeah, like you meet some woman, then you meet and on the same scene you meet a woman. He's a pizza guy there as well who's coming back in.
like why that doesn't seem.
I only rushed over it because it was pointless, but it was.
Pizza coming through.
Are you fucking serious? This is definitely a comedy troll film, boo. Why would this be in a film?
More pizza, and you guys get your choice.
I know, like
Or a free and
Domino's delivering, that's it.
No shit.
Everything besides the first 5 minutes of this film, why has it happened?
As if a pizza man would deliver up there and know about that and not tell anyone.
Unless they're fucking tipping him something outrageous, yeah. So anyway, so they decide then to go to this warehouse that they found out that where the drugs are done. So they're saying they're replacing fire extinguishers. The guy's been shady. I gotta watch what you're doing and all that. They go to the back room. They're like, you gotta give us your fire extinguisher. Guy comes to the door, gives it to him, and then when they got the ones going out, they've leaked them and they're leaving like a blatant petrol line. No one notices them. No one says nothing. Goes out. And it's like one of the 3 times in the whole film, which we haven't mentioned with our main guy, lights a cigar. Like most of the film, he's constantly chewing on this cigar unlit. But he actually lights it on this scene, so I thought I'd mention that. Puts the match in it, the flame goes in, and then it starts. The whole warehouse starts going up, and it's like doctors back there. I know, like they're doing drugs, but we were saying, how do you know these are bad people? But they might have been forced into it, but you don't give a fuck. He leaves them all there burning, and then they use the fire extinguishers, and then what happens with the fire extinguishers that they swapped over?
Well, they've obviously put some stuff in them, so when they're trying to put the fire out, they're just blowing like fire like flamethrowers out, fire extinguishers, like.
Yeah, not so obvious, mate.
And he's looking right at them as well.
Yep, he decides to ignore that.
Oh, that's why those they give him dodgy fire extinguishers. as
Yeah,
well.
that's right.
That's why the flames are flamethrowing it.
Thing is, alright. Yeah, they're like probably in the back. They're clearly like doing drugs, like making drugs.
Yeah.
But how do you know these people were in a fucking gunpoint? Said right, if you don't make these drugs, you and your family die. Did they all deserve to die for that? You don't know, do you?
Yeah.
He's not a good fucking soldier. Some of these people might be put in a situation that they didn't want to be in, and he's just killed them instead.
He's sprayed.
That was the end of the scene.
Transition.
Damn warehouse. $11 million.
Windows Movie Maker transition again.
Again, like, so this happens now about over half hour into the film, that like pretty much the second action scene. So this is what I'm saying about the whole like mental asylum thing. You had a big chunk of the film's not relevant. So 30 minutes now, we finally get back into the film. So we need to mention that. Loads of going back to Salvador being a dick with the prostitute. You're only mine. Who gives a fuck about that side plot? Side plot then goes back to him and a psychiatrist, clearly like showing some sexual tension between them. Pointless, don't go nowhere.
You do.
I see a beautiful lady holding an ink blot.
Let's see.
You're impossible.
Pathetic.
Pass me the sick
Cringe
bucket.
worthy.
Pass me the sick bucket.
Cringe if you
Fuck.
the ashtray. Like.
Oh, fucking hell, that was close, that one then. Woof! And then fucking Speedboat comes back to him and says, oh, my sister's a prostitute, I want her out with her, you need to help me. And it's a fucking weird scene then. Do you want to explain this? Remember when he starts being all fucking weird with him?
Yeah, it's like as if he's trying to be funny, but he's just not. I don't exactly remember what to say about it, really. I can't remember what you were saying,
He's not
but
being weird and like doing all
yeah,
this
oh yeah, shit, like, yeah, he's doing all these, like, he's
squats and that,
already working
yeah.
out, and he's, like, going, he's just doing this, like, I don't know if he's, like,
Trying
to dance without music. It's very weird, like, yeah,
he's
he's
supposed
really
to be the
weird.
comic side piece, but he's
Yeah,
just
he's
annoying.
just, like,
He's pure
what
annoying.
the fuck is he doing in that scene? Like, I don't know.
With touchy today. Tattoos must be heating up.
Don't start.
Bro, I'm really growing to despise this guy.
Well, Bruno Marquez is Franco's
Which
right-hand
one?
man,
This
right?
guy with the glasses on.
Every Thursday,
Both
he
of
meets his
them,
bag
me.
man at this fancy restaurant.
Nah, because the other guy's
All over
trying
the
to be
city.
funny and it's
Must be
never
zillions
working.
in that damn bag. It never leaves his side. Just sits there like a king, taking in all the treasure.
You'd punch this guy after hanging about with him for about an hour, wouldn't you?
After about 4 minutes, bro.
4 minutes.
I could probably last 4 minutes before I fucking sniped him in the head, bro. Point blank range. 4 minutes at best.
What is he doing?
But again, a lot of this was skipping over because it's pointless and goes nowhere.
it's
Fucking.
yeah, terrible.
He gets some drugs from. Oh yeah, that was it. 'Cause he asked one guy to give him a list of shit, and it's like, why don't you do it yourself? You're fucking walking in and out of this fucking loony bin whenever you want. Why are you asking other people to fucking go into it? He gives the guy a list, and then you were saying to him, why is he asking him to do it when he's in and out with these vents all the time? I agree.
Yeah, that made so sense. So it's like, just to explain a bit more with that bit, it's like, when you're sort of in like prison, like I've never been in prison, but I've seen enough things on TV.
Yeah.
So there's always some guy in it in prison that can get you anything. Like, you know what? Right, you need to get something. Go and see what's his name. He can get you
Yeah.
anything. Like, there's always that guy. Like, so it's like as if he's going to that guy in the mental hospital prison to get him anything, and he's giving him a list of stuff. It's like, well, hang on a minute. You've got a vent that takes you in and out of the hospital. So why do you need to go to the guy in there to get you anything when you could just be bringing it all in anyway?
Exactly.
Makes no sense whatsoever. That does.
It doesn't.
Doesn't like.
PD3? Huh?
Why is he asking someone to get him things when he can go in and out with this
They
thing?
got it. It's yours. Now I need some.
No, you can just go get him. I don't.
He doesn't like
Ain't
taking
no problem,
responsibility for nothing, bro.
man.
No, you don't need to go to that prisoner that can go and get you anything. No.
How bad the security guard is here. You could probably walk out the front door and no one would do fuck all.
No, yeah, that's true.
But this guy, again, I guess because they padded out this film with the mental asylum things, they knew they didn't have enough budget to make a fucking action film. To make him useful then, he gives him some form of fucking, I don't know, cyanide or some fucking rat poison shit, which he ends up putting in a bottle. Not rat poison, sorry, it's something that fucks up your stomach. He puts that in a bottle.
So it's like a laxative, probably. Like,
Yeah,
because
that's what it
it's
is.
meant, doesn't it? So yeah.
So while he's doing that, it's that scene when he's just come out of a shower and for some reason he doesn't dry the top half of his body, he leaves it completely wet. Like that was really stupid.
Happens a lot in movies.
Why, I don't fucking know. You know when you shower, yeah? And you got a towel, do you dry yourself or do you just leave your top body of your half completely wet and put a towel around you and just sit around all day? What do you do? I do what a normal person
Depends
does.
how much of in a rush I'm in.
I dry though. Like in these films all the time, they're sitting there wet as fuck with a towel around him. It's like, didn't you not
No,
use
it's
a towel?
obviously like a.
Yeah, but look.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's just come up the shower. Your towel,
Yeah.
but he hasn't dried himself.
Dripping wet, like.
Why
yeah.
do they do this in films? It's
Yeah,
stupid.
always. Yeah.
I mean, it just annoys me. That is. You must be sitting there freezing.
You know, sometimes as well, they get dressed, they put clothes on, you're soaking wet,
Yeah.
you just put your clothes on soaking wet,
Yeah.
the water's coming from the shit.
Yeah.
Like, who does that?
Weird
You just
fucking
rip-
people. Weird
Yeah.
people doing.
You're going to change again now.
Yeah. Next scene, then they basically go into that restaurant where the guy they're looking for goes often right at closing hours and saying, "Oh, we're health people. We want to do an inspection."
Yeah, they look like fucking train conductors, and
Yeah.
they're walking in like a health inspectors. Like, I would have thought normally a health inspector would come in a group of one person, not a group actually, it'd come as one person who would be in like a suit.
Yeah.
With like an ID, they wouldn't be coming in like in train conductor outfits in a pair.
with a lanyard saying, "This is my ID," which he
Yeah.
never asked at ID.
Yeah.
So then the one guy, the sidekick's always trying to be funny when he's like putting the glove on and being like, "There's dirt there," and he pays him off, and that was supposed to be funny. It was shit. So really, all this brings to is the main guy. While fucking they go to the toilet to check out, he goes into the stall and then he replaces the flush thing with a grenade. And while he's doing that, the other guy then is in the kitchen having an arg, like kind of saying to the guy, "Not into this." And when a guy walks away 2 inches away from him, he opens up the bottle. He's like this. It's all fizzling up the fucking food. And it's like how no one saw him do that, I don't know, but he did that. And then basically the guy they come in, one of the guys they come in for, one of the drug dealer guys, he comes in there, eats the food, starts playing up his stomach, and what happens then, Ibs?
Yeah, so obviously they put the laxative in the sauce for the linguine sauce.
Oh, you know your food, bro. Fair play. You
Yeah,
know
no, I
it better than me.
remember
You know it
saying
better than me.
yeah.
Your
It's the
linguine.
linguine sauce. He said, because when they're putting it in, he's like, "Oh, it stinks like shit" or something. Like the guy says to
Oh, he
says
does.
that he seems
Yeah.
to say that like about 6 times in the movie. That
6 times or something, yeah.
oh, I swear, but mostly it's like this.
Oh,
he
your
just
shit
you-
don't stink.
Yeah,
Keep saying
the
that
shit
to him.
stink. He said, "Can you go and do this?" Well, the shit stink. He says
Yeah,
that.
the shit.
Swear, like every
It's
time.
like his.
Yeah, literally. So after they've poured that stuff in the linguine, the guys obviously set up a bomb as well in the toilet. With a thing like, because we were sort of laughing about that thing, thinking, oh yeah, imagine just set it up, and just like force habit, like just pull the flesh.
Yeah. Oh fuck yeah.
Oh, fuck
Yeah.
it.
Again, we saying
Yeah,
if the film ended and
yeah.
that happened, it would have got a spud. But
Yeah, that would have been something needed to happen,
yeah,
but nothing much was going on. So obviously the guy went in there to eat the food, the laxatives kicked in, so
like
he's
within a
gonna,
4
yeah,
seconds, within 2
so
bites.
yeah, so he needed obviously to go to the toilet.
Which you
Go-
realise you would have spewed, not shot. But there we go.
yeah, plus the chain, plus the toilet, whatever, and then basically obviously set the bomb up. It all blew up. But it's like the point was of that whole thing we were making is it's like, why the hell did you do all of that and set up a bomb in the toilet? Put the laxative. You might as well just put some poison in his linguine
Yeah,
sauce and
would've-
just done him in like that.
Yeah, it would have been an explosion. It wouldn't have been.
But then I was thinking, oh, well, maybe they didn't do that because they didn't want to kill innocent people who would eat it. But they blew up the whole fucking restaurant, so there would
and
have been innocent people eating in it.
And
surely.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And the doctor as well earlier. Remember the doctor in the warehouse scene? He had no problem lighting that on fire, which could have had innocent people in. Yeah, our main character don't care if he kills people. He's like, whatever.
Why would uniform people come round to restaurants?
They said health inspector.
Follow me.
Yeah, but they don't normally come dressed like that, do they?
No, not to my knowledge.
Well, I wonder if it's like, you dry your hands, put the toilet paper, flush the chain, like...
Sure, I mean, current.
Oh, shit, yeah. That was, again, moments that they don't do both that would make the
You
film
could
a
just
spud.
do havoc and you just like, shit.
And that's how he dies then.
Yeah.
When the film ends,
That'd be
he would get a
amazing.
spud. But they refuse to get the
No.
in this film, bro.
Yeah,
This film is going out this way not to get a spud, bro.
no, definitely.
Do shit stink?
He said that about 4 times in this film
Yeah,
now.
he has, bro. Yeah, you're right, mate.
The shit stink? Yeah.
That's his thing, like he made that up, like.
Like he thinks he did anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said that so many times.
So was it poison he put in it or just something that's gonna fuck up his stomach? So when he takes a shit, that's what explodes. Why didn't he just put poison in it to save the whole toilet thing? He just died on the spot.
Yeah, I know, like. You're gonna put spikes on him or something.
You've
Because they
literally.
don't want to kill innocent people.
Wait, he's not innocent. This guy, because they rigged the
Yeah, but
toilet.
if someone else eats it, they would die as well if they put poison in it.
I
so-
suppose, but these people don't think that far. Keep in mind.
They haven't cared earlier.
Keep in mind, they
Yeah,
they
yeah,
flamed up a warehouse with fucking doctors inside.
yeah, they
Remember
haven't
that?
cared so far, like.
No. Thing is, if you eat, because he ate hardly any of that, didn't he, before he started playing
It'd
him up?
take a while, wouldn't it?
You
Surely
would
the last
spew
thing.
up before you got
Yeah.
before you did a shit. If you were that quick, you wouldn't be taking a shit. You'd be spewing because you had like a few bites and went, "That's wrong." Surely it would come up as a spew, not a shit.
He might not bother flashing the chain. He might just
He
like.
could be one of them dirty
He might be
bastards.
like, yeah, I hope that happens. Please. Oh shit, no, he did. He flashed it.
And there's a lot of fucking bullshit that goes on at this stage now. That like he ends up going back in there again. No one fucking knows the same. Apparently, sidekick guy comes in now and starts going, "Look, I need to go and sort shit out." And then they have a little fallout because he says about his sister is a prostitute and with salve or whatever, and he gets pissed off and fucks off. And then goes, "Sam, I did no shit," and feels responsible. He's got to do something. So what's his name again? Speedboat.
Yeah.
He's fucking walking out in the street and then literally gets abducted on the street with a gun to him. And then they take him back to the main guy's house.
Come on, what you doing with that piece? Come on, we can fight.
We can fight. Go on, we can fight.
I'm not getting in the car.
We'll fight him, man.
You're not getting in the car. Yeah, you are. As you're getting in the car.
Willingly gets in the car, yeah.
And not getting in the car as you're getting in the car. You're saying that like.
And they just want to get information out of him and make him say something in front of other people so they can blow his head off and then clear the name. They don't really explain it that much. It's pretty fucking shit. So then, really, at this stage, our main dude's kind of...
Does he have a fight with that guy though? That to get the information. Does he have quite a mad fight with him as well?
Yeah, that happens. So basically, then the sister comes back to the mental asylum and says, "Oh, my brother's in trouble, blah blah blah." How she fucking knows, I don't know. So then he's like, "I gotta go out and save his fucking ass." So then, yeah, at this point, he just decides to somehow knows where to go and shit. That's when, and then that's when the setup thing happens then, because he gets trapped.
Yeah, he
same in
gets
a
like in
room.
like solitary confinement or isolation.
Yeah, and
isolated
then he
room,
gets
yeah.
saved, doesn't he?
Yeah, the guy that he fights earlier in the
The
film in the
caveman / wolf
wheelchair
looking guy.
with the one for, and he says on the
Goliath.
edge, Goliath. He comes and saves him from that.
And then Goliath gives him
room
his homemade bombs, which I don't know, did Goliath make that, or why did he have loads of
Don't know where
homemade
they come
bombs?
from.
But they just came out of nowhere. So then basically this is kind of leading towards the end of it now, because he's just somehow knows where to fucking go. This is it, when he's going to sneak in, right? So he goes to the little mansion in like a countryside or whatever thing. There's a camera there, right, going left and right, really slow. So
Oh my god.
he goes
yeah.
left like that. He literally could have just head down, gone, 4 seconds. Instead, he decides, again, like early in the film, where the fuck he sets a shot. He gets a water sprinkler, puts the fucking, I don't know, some like wood on it, aims it up to be shooting at the camera so it can't see. Then he goes and sneaks his way inside
Yeah, that's
to
the
the
thing.
house.
Wait for the camera to come actually back around where they could see him. Like where that's the thing, you could have just like as it turned, run
Yeah.
past it. Wait for it to come back round so the
Yeah.
sprinkler soaks the screen so they can't.
So-
and he draws more attention
Yeah.
by doing that.
By doing that, he's drawing more attention, because when the camera goes like that, all he has to do is wait there and go, I think he does it anyway, and he just run. So he spent all that time to get a sprinkler to move up the camera, which people on the camera are going to be like, why is the sprinkler now positioned to there? When he could have waited for the camera to go like that and literally walked around it.
It's really
What's he do? Why does he make everything harder than it needs to be done?
like what's this shit right here? Like
But no, what happens now, naturally, is he literally, as he gets in the window, or just before, they're on the camera going, why the fuck is there a sprinkler shooting on the camera all of a sudden? Which, if he didn't do that, they would never have known, so he fucked himself. So instantly, they're out there with a fucking gun, kick it down, there's someone here. And then, as soon as he gets in the window, the second he walks in, they come back in and see him, and he's like, shit. Just I mean, look, he's drawn attention to it, like. He could have just fucking not done that and avoided it, and this would not happen to him right now. That's what I mean, he exposes himself. Like, now they're all on alert.
yeah. You
Now-
would never have even known if he
Exactly.
just stealthed his way in.
Exactly.
Flashbang. What with the window as well? Bare windows already open, but
Oh yeah,
there's
just
like,
before that, how he
because there's
breaks
like
in
little thing like burning.
to melt through it.
Yeah, to melt. You could just pull that window and rip it open anyway. It was like just a
Yeah.
window you could pop anyway. But there was
Yeah.
windows open around.
Already
Yeah.
open windows he could have done, but he good remembering, because it was already, it shows that if there's a padding shot past, it's like that was open. There was like 3 windows he could have just went, oh, I'll go in, but no. Again, he does a lot of pointless shit, like
He
for no
already drew
reason.
attention himself, so he
Yeah.
could just boot the fucking window through anyway. It wouldn't have mattered.
Pretty much, he may as well have, with the way
Yeah.
he fucking tucked himself up.
You could have just. And not before I could have pulled that open without doing that.
Them windows are fucking open when he went
Yeah.
past.
You could have pulled that open anyway without even putting that thing on.
Yeah. Already open windows he could have just opened and crawled through. So then you thrown that grenade, obviously fucking all shit's going on. Salvador now with his little meeting of people who are in a panic room, and they're like, what's going on? Just before we need to mention, he cuts a wire, doesn't he, and then checks a phone. We're like, if you knew what you're doing, you wouldn't need to check the fucking phone to see it's dodgy. So we were joking, saying, oh, I bet he just randomly cut a wire, hoping for the best, and need to cut the phone lines. What the fuck is going on with this film? This is why I'm convinced it's trolling us, bro.
Then no, the phone would never work.
He just took a guess,
Like,
didn't he? He
yeah.
just cut a random wire, and he went,
Yeah.
I'll do.
Because he would know. You wouldn't need to check the phone if he knew.
That's what I mean, like, yeah, that's why I had to check books, he weren't sure. But yeah, Salvador and all that, and his little, the other bosses, or the other whatever, are in a room. So he's fucking shooting people as kind of shit in the house. Salvador then, there's that one funny scene, when everyone starts getting worried, and so he shuts a panic room down, but he gets on the phone while he's in the panic room, remember that?
Ah, that's probably the funniest.
The funniest scene of the film, like, what happened here?
Because it's like, obviously, as you say, like he gets the phones. I did find that a bit funny as well. When he had to check to see if the phone was cut. Like, if you obviously cut the wire randomly, because if you knew what you were doing, like,
Wouldn't
why
need to
would you
check it.
check? Why would you need to check? But anyway, obviously, he cuts the phones, and that obviously escalates a bit later because of the in that meeting room, and then like they can hear a few like gunshots things, and he picks up the phone. And he's obviously heard his cat, like the big boss man, but he's obviously there's no way this guy wants to lose face. Like he's like he's like, yeah, sort it out, come and get him everything, and he's pretending to speak to his like cavalry or something to sort everything out. Like
Make
I
sure
told
to
you I'd
send
keep
some
you
men,
safe, but I thought into just like proper faking the phone call. Like
But that
and
was
I
the
thought it
best
was
part of the
hilarious,
film,
like,
just because as soon as he picks up, it's like, "Jrr," and you don't even go, shit, like I just instantly, just, as you said, straight face.
keep face, put it on.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, Guido. This is.
I'm faking it.
Oh yeah? Yeah, good work. Okay, we'll finish up there and come back here with some more men.
That was the best.
That was the
bit of
best part of the
movie.
film.
The whole
Brains, okay?
For sure.
That guy, man, he went not losing face, bro. He's like, I ain't losing face or nothing.
Gotta respect him for that.
Yeah.
Look at him just casually walking out, like, after hearing explosions of the gunshot. So, during all this now, while he's fucking in the house fighting, our sidekick guy, who we said had been kidnapped earlier, he'd been beaten up a little bit, not too much, just like, talk, like, shitty scene. So he's gone back upstairs, like, he's gone upstairs now, you can see his sidekick guy all, like, tied up. And when he's walking there, the bad guy who had the sidekick there, who's beating him up, you can kind of see him coming in the mirror, can't he? And we're like, yo, dude, like, don't just walk in there. There's clearly going to be a guard of him. But our main guy walks in, obviously gets hit from behind, ends up having a little fight, because then the psychic guy kind of helps him, kicks a guy in the face. Can you remember that fight too well? Because it wasn't that great, was it?
No, I don't think so. No, I can't remember.
He goes to
much of
shoot
it.
him. The psychic guy kicks the gun out.
Yeah, I
his
think
hand.
he's losing the guy. Oh
And
no, yeah, I can actually, because this is probably like this guy's terrible.
Yeah.
This guy is the guy was back. I can remember the fight well now. The guy was back doing him.
Yeah.
You were just like, hang on, this is meant to be the main guy. He wasn't winning at all. He'd only managed to. Well, he still started losing even after the guy who was tied up kicked him, and he was still losing a bit and that. And he'd only managed to win because he had to pick up a fucking weapon by the side of him. I think
It was like there was a vase.
he hit him with a lamp, didn't he? Or the vase, like a vase thing.
He does actually get shot twice at this point. He gets shot once in the leg and once in the back and the shoulder. And we're like, keep shooting him, keep shooting him.
That's the scene in it.
Yeah.
He gets shot twice.
Yeah, and then and he still manages to throw a roundhouse kick completely fine, but then the rest of the film he's limping. He's been shot on the shoulder, but it don't affect his movement when he's fighting. He's perfectly fine. And then he just uses a vase on the guy, doesn't he? We'll see how he manages to fuck this up now. That's what Chuck.
Who's your back?
Yeah, shoot him more.
Close to him.
Yeah, shoot him more. Shoot him again. I'm gonna enjoy.
This is oh my god. You just got shot twice. How are you doing that?
And he's still losing the fight now.
Oh my god, you're definitely knocked out.
He should just picked up the gun and
You
killed
just
him.
headbutt the wall 3 times.
Yeah. Fucking hell, our main character's a fucking dweeb, mate.
He just slapped it. What was that? He just slapped. Okay, pulling a kick out of nowhere. He's pathetic.
It's embarrassing, isn't it?
Oh, and my god, like, he's supposed to be nails, and the only way he got out was by hitting him over the head with the fucking vase. What?
Well, waste of a fish.
You're gonna throw your fist and go.
Electrocute him. That's not what would happen anyway.
That never happened.
So then basically we've got these two coppers which we haven't mentioned much because they do fuck off out the film, just looking outside of the, I guess keeping an eye on the mansion, yet they don't hear the grenades and bullets going off. Why is this film still going on?
These two have done nothing the whole film other than just talk as well. Like
Yeah,
a
they've
couple of
done fucking nothing.
They're like two cops, and they've done
Well,
nothing.
they report. I don't know. They've added nothing.
Or reporters.
They don't fucking. That's what I mean. They've added nothing to the film. Not relevant. Don't even know what the characters are. Until when at one point when he's fucking killing them all, I think there's another part where they he allows it. Him and the young guy there. He's like the sidekick. He's like, you take the grenade and you throw it in the room this time. He throws up because as he goes to go in there, the guy goes to shoot him with a machine gun. Remember? So then the guy shoot one person in this room, but they throw a grenade, and he's on fire coming out. and they just watch him walking past, and he's like, ugh, and then he falls down the stairs and the guys are just like, I'll leave him.
Oh, fuck off, man. He should have said that about 5 minutes ago, the other guy to him.
Because he said to him, call me Johnny Law, didn't he?
He said Johnny Law. I've heard Johnny Law 4 times with this film as well. As well as this hit stink.
Yeah, the shit stink thing he says like 4 times. And then he ends up walking out the fucking house.
He's still alive, yeah. He was running out on
and that's
fire
when the
still,
two coppers see him. So you're like, wait there, so it's the guy on fire that caught your attention, not the four grenades you would have heard gone off and your multiple gun firing. Now that somehow is how you know shit's going on.
The hell's that?
This guy's still alive.
Shit, those guys are killing each other in there.
Like, surely you heard the explosions and fucking gunshots.
They do nothing the whole fucking
Nothing.
movie, like.
Nothing,
They were in it a few
nothing.
times, but they do nothing.
Pointless. So then at this stage now, really, they've killed pretty much all the goons in the house. They got the panic room with the people, so they put a gun there on the main door to say, look, they're not going to get out. Let's go around the back. And for the panic room, what the fuck did they install that we were saying is the most fucking stupid security risk ever, which they take advantage of?
A fucking vent. So if
Like,
you
not a little vent.
you got yeah, man. Well, not a little vent, but yeah, like you think you've got all
You
this.
could drive a car through the fucking
Yeah,
vent.
it's got all this technology. I got he's all like, I'll keep you all safe. I've got this vault, never gonna get through you. Like the people that put all this vault together and made it all secure. It's like, how could you be that thing switched on and know how to do all this and make it secure and you miss
And
a-
fuck
you
up
miss
that
a
bad.
vent?
It's a bad
You miss
fuck
a
up.
vent, like
It's
do
a
you know what I
huge
mean?
vent. It's like,
Yeah.
it's asking to be exploited.
Getting into the vent, obviously.
Yeah, it just comes off like that, does it?
So he's got a vault. He's got a vault, right? He's got a vault, and he's completely secure. You do something as stupid as leave a little vent.
A massive air vent.
Yeah, you get professionals to build a
Yeah.
free vault, and you think that would happen, like?
Yeah, and then they leave one of the most obvious ways to get in.
They're not gonna miss that, like.
Oh, look at that, they're going to make him super high. This vent is comically sized. It's stupid.
Yeah,
you
it's-
can have a normal vent about that big.
You
Would
could
make
climb
sense.
through it and get in the room.
This thing's fucking
Yeah.
stupid. It's like a fucking cinema screen.
You
close
could
to-
climb through it and get in the room.
So basically, naturally, they fucking take advantage of it. So they go in the back room and like, oh, this is where all the rat poison's been mixed up with the cocaine, which is killing everyone. While they're locked in their panic room, let's turn the air conditioning on full. And they're just literally, it's like, I don't know, fucking tons of cocaine. They start sprinkling in the room, and then while they're all in there, then it's just all kind of in the air, and they're all screaming and shit, and
Yeah, basically,
room.
instead of like smoking them out, they were coking them out.
Yeah,
like,
they
just
coke them
coking
out. They literally coke them out. Let's see how quick it takes to affect them, though. Oh, is that the stuff cut with poison, so they're going to die? If that's the stuff cut
Yeah.
with poison, that's actually quite cool.
And it's holding a massive bag, like.
Fucking,
It's like, you know, the term, like, we're gonna smoke you out, we're gonna coke you out, like.
literally, they coke you out. They coked them
Yeah.
out. Yeah, they coked them out, bro. They did.
You think of them vault themselves in? Let's coke them out, boys.
It's actually a good idea. I'll give this film, man.
Yeah.
But like, again, like, there wasn't much credit I can give it, but fair play, that's a cool idea. And then they all start fucking dying off, and then, yeah, they just, again, instead of walking away and leaving it, they decide to stay there for when the police turn up. Don't make an effort to try and, like, say, like, maybe you can get away, maybe go away with it. No, just standing there waiting for the police to turn up. Police guy's like, what's in that room? You don't want to know. I need to know, check.
Goes
And then
up
what
with
does he do when he what happens when he opens the door?
Opens the door, the boss guy who looks frozen just falls through. That was quite
And he's
funny
all
as well.
pale white.
Yeah, looks like it's like frozen, like,
Yeah.
literally.
What was that?
Then that other woman shows up. He's like, don't go in that room. It's like everyone wants to go in this room, even
Yeah.
though, like, she opens it as well, don't she?
I think she kind of looks in and goes,
Yeah.
oh yeah, she looks in and goes, whatever.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, it just goes back to fucking the psychic in the hospital flirting with the nurse. Everything's all okay, everything's turned out perfect. And then, the way the fucking film, like, just before this scene, so what they do with Snake Eater, instead of going, oh, we get you off it, you know, you, with all due respect,
Yeah,
you
they give
stop,
him a
you
letter
stop
saying
drug,
he's found
a drug bust, yeah, they go, what we'll do is classify you as insane, so back to the same asylum you go. It's like, dude, this guy literally just stopped a huge area of, like, you know, people dying. You could have literally, off the record, you've done more dodgy shit than I, you know you have. Off the record, could went, mate, you know, you're all good. No, back to the asylum you go.
I think they were going for the direction that that's what he wanted in the end. Oh, this is my home with these people. Yeah.
I think so, because he starts growing a
Yeah,
character. Because right
yeah.
at the very, very end, bro, this fucking dance number, how does a film end?
Without Snake Eater, just the random other guys. He's Snake
All the
Eater,
other guys, like the
yeah.
fucking Four Stooges, and it literally
Yeah.
it goes to a dancing. They're dancing down a hallway, and me and you would like,
And just does a Looney Tunes ending, like, that's all, folks, you know. Just...
yeah, the little black thing too. Oh my god, what the fuck is this? Was this a fucking Five Stooges or some shit? What the fuck is going on here? This is the end scene of a film called Snake Eater 2, The Drug Bust. I think this is the fucking people on drugs. This is happening, Hips. This is actually happening. Like Looney Tunes?
And that's all, folks. That's all, folks. That's all,
Bro,
folks.
that's literally what it was. Oh my god. So that was Snake Eater 2 Drug Bust. You know, we explained it. This one again, like, this is a weird one. There was so much shit to it that any good part of my...
Who annoyed you the most?
No, like, to be honest, it wasn't so much, like, there was a few characters that, like, annoyed me, but it was just so fucking stupidly done, the film. It was a film that annoyed me more than the characters. The sidekick, I despise. None of his jokes ever landed. He was mad annoying. I didn't like the fact he was trying to be the comic value. It just didn't work. This film had no direction. It didn't know if it was trying to be a comedy at times, an action. It didn't know what it wanted to be. So, yeah, it was fucking weird. But yeah, with this one, I may as well get straight to it. I'm not going to fucking say no more on this. I said enough of it. I'm happy it's over. Dud. Fucking, yeah, pretty wank. Didn't enjoy it.
Yeah, I think it pretty much started off. I know they thought, let's do a bit of an action comedy, or let's do a bit of, and it started off like that. And they were like, oh no, let's go for see, and it was just all out of place and messed up, and it just didn't work. And it's an absolute terrible movie, obviously, as they all are. But this is like the worst, or not one of the worst. God, if one of the worst, or if not the worst movie I've ever seen. It was so bad. I couldn't give it a spud in the million years. It's definitely a dud from me all day. Yeah, absolutely terrible movie, to be honest. Yeah, you know, from the bad acting to the direction to the stupid Windows Movie Maker transitions.
If they had literally cut out the majority of this film, like all the mental asylum scenes, if they had just like literally didn't have that in it and kept this as like a 20-minute short film and just put the action scenes together, would have got a spud. But then it's just too much shit when it going on. Like even the action scenes weren't that great, but they was just so few and far in between. And for the film like with this cover, you like basically it's Death Wish on a shitty, like if Death Wish was not good. That's the best way I can describe it. It's like a shit version of Death Wish is the best way to describe this, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because he was almost like, even though he's meant to be like a suspended cop or an ex-soldier, he was almost like a vigilante, wasn't he? So I'm guessing he was like, they took a bit of that. They took a bit of like, you know, I don't know.
Yeah,
they trying to do like a bit of Beverly Hills
I think you're
comedy.
Right.
Like
trying to take a piece from everyone, and then
don't know, like the bit that got me the most. Like I think when they were going through the vent and the Domino's pizza guy was going through to deliver pizza to the thing, like the mental hospital. And I thought, well, hang on a minute. Like, what are they going for in this film? Because that if it was a serious film, you couldn't possibly put that scene in there. It was like as if from that, it's like, hang on, is this a spoof? Like
this film didn't know what it wanted to do, and that's a major problem. It didn't know what it wanted to do. If it were going to be silly, stick to it and go all out. Because it was all over the place, the pointer seemed to be trying to be serious. You're like, oh, now she's a prostitute thing. That's not funny. But then
you'd think with the pizza, they have to be taking the piss. But then another part, you're thinking, well, actually, I don't think they are.
Yeah. Well, I think this film has taken a piss in enough of our time, so I think we should probably call it a day because I
Yeah.
have nothing else to say about it, bro. I'm honest.
Nah, nothing else to say. Just
No.
terrible.
I've been Maniacal Mac.
I'm Hebs.
Thanks for joining us. Until next time. Peace out. Look at that. What was this? Blues Brothers? Like the music, and everyone's like, is this a drug film or the Blues Brothers film that never got released? Which one is it?
Institutional stuff.
How does it work?
You just had people there are crazy,
Yeah,
like
they're
they're in the
crazy.
psycho.
In a weird way, though, mate, I relate to them. I'm like, yeah, people out here are fucking crazy. Like, who are the crazy ones? I thought them in the ward, mate. I'm starting to question it now. Like, there were so many questions I had about that little trap he set up. How did he have time to do that? How did no one notice? But I'm not even going to ask them. I'm not even going to bother. There were so
I
many
was
things.
thinking, obviously, when he turned the key, he must have tied a piece of string to the inside of the ignition.
Which somehow.
When he turns the key.
How did he get that huge piece of metal on top of it on his own, like, you know what I mean? Just swinging. So yeah, just not going to ask
What are
questions,
you
mate.
talking about? Listen good. I got this whole thing figured out, man. I don't want you getting yourself killed.
You fucked
Getting
up his
yourself,
line!
getting
He
yourself
fucked up
killed.
his line!
Yeah. I don't want you getting yourself killed.
He kept that in there!
Man, who you talking to with that shit?
What the
supposed to be locked up
fuck?
when people ain't-
So, what do you think?
Being
I
crazy
think you got
isn't what it
great
used to be. Just try it.
Yeah, it's like,
Just
yeah,
try
it's
it.
not as good as it used to be, like, you know, it's overrated these days, crazy. You should have been crazy back in the day. Don't bother anymore. Holy fuck, the cigar's lit. No fucking way.
You smoking it
Actually smoking a cigar.
instead of eating it.
Wow. So I love the fact that this film got into it in the first 5 minutes and went, right, what we're going to do now is stop all the action and just put him in a mental ward instead.
He's been in this metal ward for fucking ages now. Let's get him out of it.
Like, it just, this part of the film just didn't need to happen at all. It's purely padding it just to make, like, what's going to happen now? You're going to have all this shit for, like, a necessary long time. He's going to go out back on the streets. What relevance are these guys going to have unless they escape with him and somehow help him, which I can't see happening? What's the relevance of any of these characters in the film? Are they going to go on the streets and help him drug bust? I can't see it happening.
Nothing will. Literally.
Maniacal Mac.